I'm here today with a good friend and subscriber of ours at Badger Project Management and Design, Mr. Craig Meadows. Badger, as many of you know, was launched late last year. It is a construction management software and estimating solution for home builders and remodelers. We have an integrated CRM as well to help you keep up with your customer profiles, notes that you may have, and really provides you everything that you need as a remodeler or a home builder to take your company to the next level. And so today, like I said, we have a good friend here that has been using Badger that wanted to share his experiences with Badger. So if you will, Craig, tell us a little bit about your company.
We started in 2023. So we've been in business for, 3 going on 4 years. I've been building for a long time and built for other builders in the past and decided to strike out on my own when I, back then in 2023. So we've been building customs and we got into start building some specs last year, and we want to shift to that more so. And we, it's been slow, but we're hoping this year is going to pick up and we can do more specs this year and sell more specs, but we're still building customs and that's been keeping us going. But, it's just been, I would say last 2-3 years, it's been pretty good, busy. Right now it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but we're expecting to pick up and get busier at the end of this year. Next year, we're looking at a hopefully good year. But Meadows Homes, we have our website. It's Meadows Homes of ms.com. I have an Instagram page. Same, you can link. It's all linked on there. You can go to the website and get onto my Instagram. But yeah, that's really kind of a short story about, what we do, but we, I'm passionate about building. I love building. I have, for years, just, took a long time for me to actually take the chance and step out there to do it myself. You know what I mean? So I'm glad we did. And it's been an adventure. Definitely
worth it to step out on your own and take that chance though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it sure is. It's a risk involved. But like they say, the more riskier it is, the more reward type of thing, right? So, and we're looking, it's definitely been a learning process, and I am right in the middle of it. So, and what we're talking about today with Badger being a useful tool. I've used several programs from other builders, from stuff that I've tried for myself, and there's a lot of good stuff out there. But I think this is tailored to, and coming from a builder, it's tailored for that very thing. It's really, I have plenty of good to say about it, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, more so. But it's a very good tool for organization, which you're going to need. I'm bad about organization, and it helps me a great deal. So, but I'm sure, we'll get into all that.
Getting into all of that, what was your business struggling with before Badger PMD, before you incorporated into it?
I'm very structured in the way I do things, and I find that when everything's structured for me, and I structure things like the way I need it to be to keep on task and not get sidetracked, I do better. I get more things done. I feel better about what I gotten done. If not, I get sidetracked. I got things that it just takes me away from, and I don't get nothing accomplished. So that helps me stay on track with the scheduling and with everything being at one location. Basically, I got files and paperwork scattered all over the office, and if and a lot of times it gets out of place and disorganized when you're going through it. I got it all there at one spot. I can click on it. I have all the information I need about that particular house or that project we're doing. And it's nice to have, it's nice to have that. I can even get on it when I'm out in the field if I got Wi-Fi or, internet, and I can look up something that I might need at that very moment. And I'm not at the office where I can just grab the file and look it up, so I have it there. That's nice. And the scheduling, it helps with that. I'm big about scheduling and staying on schedule. And that's been a good tool for that. So
yeah, I know you and I have talked about scheduling in the past, and I think that was one of the key things that we talked about when we met initially, and you looked at a demo of Badger. I think scheduling is probably one of the places where home builders and remodelers, specifically home builders, lose a lot of money because they have trouble keeping all of that organized. Remodelers, I think a lot of times lack of scheduling tends to run into conflicts with homeowners because they're ready to get their house back in order and they're needing the contractors to get out. So having a tool with like Badger, and obviously that's our goal, is very beneficial to help keep those contractors and remodelers on there, not just for better profits, but for a better customer experience. So so that's nice to hear you say that for sure. How was the transition to Badger? How's that been?
That's been good. It's not been difficult really at all. It was a little bit of time getting familiar with it, which that's just using it, learning what it does and how you can use it to fit your needs, and that's really it. And it's been very user friendly. I mean, it's not difficult at all. I like it. I like the fact that it is, fairly easy to figure out. And yeah, I mean, it's been a good transition, and we're still working through that. We're still, because we've only been using it, 6-7 months now, I think. And so as we get busier and do more, it's just going to be something that we're going to rely on more and more, and it's good that I can, and I was going to say that I can be out in the field, pull something up right then, look for something, information I'm looking for on something, selections or whatever. I can, and then the lady in the office, she can pull it up and she can go through it and she can, send me stuff and back and forth or whatever we need to do. It makes it nice and convenient,
Yeah, and the integration talking about transitioning into Badger, obviously that's something that can be done over time as you grow. There may be features that you don't necessarily need initially that you start to use as you integrate more and more of it into your company, or just as you get larger as a company. What would you say has been your favorite feature on Badger PMD?
For me, it is the schedule, because I am so big about schedule, right? To me, that's how you build, and that's how you stay on your houses and your projects to keep them in the timeline. And, I've done it without having that structure and try to just do it by notepad, paper, and just kind of wing it. And you can do it that way, and I know a lot of guys that do that. But when I'm on a schedule and I'm looking at a schedule and I'm tracking and I'm looking at other projects and, seeing the timelines and stuff, and it's all there in front of me, it keeps me focused on it, getting those tasks done, staying on schedule, making sure that showing up, things are getting done the day they're scheduled to be done. If there's a problem in the schedule or something, gets out of the schedule or whatever, and somebody didn't show up or something didn't show up and you have to rearrange and push it back, you can do all that there. It stays, you can make adjustments to your schedule as you go and still keep, things together without getting out of chaos or whatever. But That's a big thing for me, and just like we've talked about before, and it helps me. That's how I see it, I guess. But I know that I do a lot better when I'm using it, and it's been proven. For me, it has. I've seen it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of brag on you on that because obviously we have a very powerful scheduling feature in Badger. But when we were having lunch together one day, you were talking about the fastest you had ever built a house because you're so adamant about keeping things scheduled and together. I believe, what was it?
38 days. Yeah, it was a one of the models that we were building. I was building for another builder at this time, but it was about a 3,600 square foot home. So it was a pretty good size home when we were putting all the extras in it. But yeah, we did it 38 days. And that's the fastest I've ever built a house, but I was just determined to see how I could do. And like I said, it was because of that schedule. I had scheduled the whole house from, before we started even breaking ground. And I called all the subs, and it was communication too on my part, their part. But I let them know what we're doing, and everybody was great about communicating with me. And I told them when I'm going to need them. They said they can make that day, and for the most part, they all did. So I had a little bit of problem, but with the schedule towards the end, but we made it work.
38 days is that's just mind-boggling as a home builder myself. So that's incredible, and I want to congratulate you on that for sure. But for anyone that's wondering, because I know that construction is an older industry, and a lot of people will say, we don't need software, we don't, I do things with pen and paper and everything. That just kind of goes to show for anyone that questions whether or not having the right tools, software available to you, if it can save you money, that should be testament to that, hands down, because you have to have the right tools in place in order to ensure the communication and the scheduling is in line in order to meet those kind of deadlines. And there's no doubt if you're building homes in less than 2 months, or even if you're building homes in 4 or 5 months and not going over schedule by 60, 90 days, you're saving money. And so these are awesome. That's some awesome features that are available on Badger PMD.
Using a tool like this, like Badger, it really helps with that, and that really helps me stay clear and not get sidetracked or just distracted by other things when I need to stay focused on certain things and getting accomplished. And what it does boil down to is building the house or the project whatever it may be, staying on task, in your timeline that, because time is money, right? And, but then the customer's happy because everything's done the way they wanted or needed it to be, their selections are all right. And you're not putting in the wrong countertops, or cabinets or whatever it may be. So that's a good tool for that,
What would you say to someone still trying to manage projects with spreadsheets, text, paper notes?
Save yourself the time and headache and just, go with the program like Badger, because it's done all the work setting everything up for you. All you got to do is go in and start using it. Learn how to use it. And I think that makes all the difference. You don't have to waste any time trying to build your own or come up with another program, that works for you. I think you get into it, start working it, you'll see it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, and so I've talked to many business owners, not just builders, but just business owners in general. I love to read, and any business book you read will tell you that the key to successful businesses is having a system. And so you can use spreadsheets and paper notes and stuff like that, but the deal is a lot of times those things get scattered, and it's hard to capture those systems. It stays in your head. You can't share it with your team members. You can't share it with your your trades, and it ends up costing time and money because people end up doing a lot of freelancing and stuff like that. What Badger does is allows you to create your templates, to create your spec sheets, to create a place to store your files and your photos and keep up with customer profiles, and it just lets you keep all of that stuff in one spot. So
trying to keep all that in your head, it's just impossible. Say you got 6 houses that you're building at one time, or trying to remember and even writing it down, or even having your spec sheets and stuff. You're carrying all that around, and you're going from house to house, and you're walking house to house, and you're checking to make sure everything's right, everything's going in, the right materials are going in. Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't have to carry around a bunch of files with me. I can open up Badger and everything's there, and I can go from house to house to house, and go down pull the selection sheet up. Okay, these are the right selections here for this house, and basically make that check and go on to the next. So yeah, it's all in one place. It's a lot easier to access. It's not scattered all over my truck. I'm not trying to go through files and papers, and you know what I mean. And they get lost, and and then you're making a phone call back to the office. Hey, you know what selections we got on this house? Or can you find that for me and send it to me? So it helps in that way.
And I'll build off of that too, talking about mistakes. Mistakes in communication are possibly the biggest cost and expenses to home builders, and the biggest source of conflict between home builders and clients in new home construction or in remodeling. And so what Badger also allows is for you to comment, have comment threads going with these clients that you're working with, and keep it in one spot, so that again all that communication is in one location. It's not scattered around through text messages, emails. I tell clients all the time that in this day and age we're not hindered by too few modes of communication. We're hindered by too many. So if you're a home builder and you're having a conversation with a man about what he wants done in his yard when you're building his house, and then 2 days later his wife texts you something she's wanting done, and then you have an email that has all of you in a group, and you're talking back and forth, and then 6 months down the road you end up doing something, and they say, well, no, we didn't discuss this, we didn't say that. Everybody's trying to go through all these different devices, trying to check their text messages, their voicemails, missed calls, emails, and who said what. And so having all of that communication, that is probably one of the most powerful features of Badger, is just being able to capture that communication. Even
with that being, the customers also are able to access. There's a way for them to even see, certain bits of information that pertain to them, basically. And I think that's really good too. But you're right, with the whole text message and all that, it gets lost sometimes, And I have 100 different things going, at one time in a day, that somebody will tell me something, and I'll make a note of that, write it down. If I don't, I write it down. A lot of times I write it down, but I'll get going and I'll flip 3-4 pages onto the next day, and I'll forget all about it, So
yeah, I've done that many a times in the past. Write somebody's name and number on a piece of paper and throw it in my truck, and then 3 weeks later see that piece of paper and feel horrible. So you don't want to miss those things. You want to keep everything together, nice and neat. So how does Badger help your customers have a better home building or remodeling experience?
The fact that it works so well for me, or helps me, I think makes a difference for them. That I feel if I'm more organized, or I feel like things are running smoothly and getting done the way they're supposed to on time, and no mistakes, or that makes it a better process for them. Less stress for them. When things start, getting out of whack, I guess, so to speak, the stress. They'll start getting more stressed. They'll start worrying more. Then you're stressed and you're worried more. So, I want them to always have the confidence in me and not be worried that something's going to get done wrong or not completed the right way. So I think that's, I would say, probably the best thing or the best way to answer that question, I guess, in my opinion. What I'm trying to say is, if I'm doing my job the best I can and making sure everything's running right, then they can relax. You know what I mean? And that helps with having a tool like that. So if I'm feeling chaotic and chaos and all that, and I'm not sure what's going on, or if I'm, I can't remember what selections they're getting and this and that and when it's supposed to show up, they're going to feel that. They're going to know that. They're going to be like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know. I'm a little worried. Is he going to be able to get it done on time, or is it going to be right? So I think it really helps with that.
Yeah, and as a home builder, I can definitely attest to that. It's almost I've spoken with this about this to other people as well, but it's almost like there is a tone in that builder-client relationship, and you can really tell when that tone shifts and people go from being optimistic and confident to, does this guy really know what he's doing? And so you definitely want to maintain your client's trust, because unlike other businesses that usually have a very short client interaction, with home building and remodeling, you're usually in each other's lives for a couple of months, a few months at least, while y'all are working together. So you want to maintain a really quality, really good relationship. And like you said, having Badger in place, that really helps to give that professional image. You have a place for your clients to log in and to go and view their project. It really makes you look more put together and professional, and so an awesome tool for that as well. And not to mention, we live in a social media era where people like to log on and scroll and stuff anyway. So when they're building a new home or they're remodeling their existing home, they like to get on and check things out. And so it provides that outlet for that as well. Okay, so last question. Would you recommend Badger PMD to other builders or remodelers, and why?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is a program that's built from a builder's perspective. Like yourself, I mean, what worked for you and the things that are important to builders or, contractors and stuff. So you can really feel that when you're working with it and using it. I think you can really get the sense that it's somebody that knows the industry and knows what's important to builders. Does that make sense? So I would absolutely say, it's a great tool. It's been good for me. It's helped me stay organized. It's helped me to stay on task. It saves me time. And really, time is important. Saving time, that's important. So it's made things a lot better. And I told you when I was looking for something, I've tried several, and some do good with certain things, but they're not put together the way Badger is, I think. It's kind of well-rounded too, for our industry, to me. And so I really would recommend it to anybody.
Thank you for that. And yes, that is the goal with Badger, is to be well-rounded, to provide home builders with all the resources they need in one spot. And so I certainly appreciate you being here and for all the kind things you've had to say. And again, this is Craig Meadows with Meadows Homes in DeSoto County, Mississippi. And Craig is an excellent home builder with years and years of experience, and we're so thankful to have him him as a subscriber with Badger PMD. And if you are a home builder or remodeler that is looking for a perfect solution for your company that will allow you to do everything from keep up with automated emails and capture leads on your website to managing your schedules, your financials, your specs with your clients, even linking with QuickBooks Online so that you can sync bills and invoices back and forth. Badger has it all, and we would certainly love for you to take a look at us. Badger offers a 30-day free trial. So if you want some time to dive in and try it out and see what it can do for your business, then certainly take advantage of that. And then, check us out on our website as well, www.badgerpmd.com. Thank you all for listening, and hope to see you soon.